and you're looking at life in prison.
He's basically a good kid. He doesn't get into trouble.
All right, so you're just procreating.
Yes, ma'am.
Now you understand where babies come from?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and how often were you using marijuana?
I say twice a week.
Nobody uses marijuana twice a week. Find you guilty, sentence you up to life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Hello.
How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fine. How are you doing?
Doing well.
And are you Mr. Yarborough? Habitation with intent to commit felony force?
The hearing starts with a guy looking way too comfortable for someone facing serious prison time. He's sitting there with a smug grin like this is just another casual conversation, not a burglary case that could ruin his future. The wild part is burglary carries heavier consequences because it involves entering someone's property, something courts see as a direct threat to safety. But none of that seems to register with him. Instead, he acts like the rules don't apply. So the big question is he stuck in denial, or does he genuinely believe he can outsmart the system? Let's get into it.
According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 5 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine. State is silent on your application, and this will run concurrent with 696,403. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, State?
Yes, Judge.
Defense?
Yes, Judge.
Any objections to the PSI report, State?
Nothing from the state.
Defense? All right, Mr. Yarborough, you entered a plea on August 21st of no contest. I've reviewed the stipulations. I'm unsure if it was said on the record, but I believe it was by Judge Angelini. The court is finding that there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, I believe the PSI speaks for itself. It speaks to the love that his family has for this. I have had many conversations with Mr. Yarborough about him needing to, that you're going to want an explanation for what was he thinking that day, because he's basically a good kid. He doesn't get into trouble, and he's been taking full responsibility for all of his actions. And I think he's a great candidate for deferred adjudication probation on this, especially when the complainant forgives him, doesn't want him, is fine with him getting probation, and kind of wants them back in their lives. Although there isn't no contact with her, she doesn't have the child. She's the grandmother. So he said it's okay if you keep that no contact while he's on the deferred.
All right. Can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
You can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
D. Donna Yarborough.
All right. So before I begin asking you questions,
Yes, ma'am.
I want to tell you something right here now. Whenever my brothers were late for their curfew that my mom set down, you know what they would always try to tell her? I don't belong in a gang. I haven't committed any crimes. I don't do any drugs. So don't give me that, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
Because people who are obeying the law shouldn't be doing any of that.
Yes, ma'am.
So how old is your daughter?
She's just turned 3 in July 17th.
All right. So,
Yes, ma'am. And I have another one on the way due in November. Next week will be the mother of my child's 8th month.
all right. And is this the mother of the other child as well?
No, ma'am.
All right. So you're just procreating.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And you understand where babies come from?
Yes, ma'am.
And if you can't support your children, you should not be having a lot of children. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So why were you smoking marijuana?
Coping mechanism.
All right. So it is very bad for a child to come to their grandmother's house smelling like marijuana.
Yes, ma'am.
So do you think it's appropriate for your children to smoke marijuana?
No, ma'am, not at all.
Well, that's what you did with your baby. Because if you're smoking marijuana around them, which obviously you were, because otherwise the baby wouldn't smell like marijuana, the baby's clothes wouldn't smell like marijuana, we would not be here.
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand that the grandmother loves her grandchild
Yes, ma'am.
and wants what's best for her grandchild.
Yes, ma'am.
Wouldn't do anything to hurt her grandchild.
Most definitely. Yes, ma'am.
You've been doing things to hurt your grandchild. To hurt your child. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
So, are you diagnosed mentally with anything?
ADHD, but that's all. That's no excuse. No.
No, there is not.
Yes,
You should
ma'am.
not be using marijuana.
Yes,
And the
ma'am.
court is not going to allow you to use marijuana in this court while you're on probation. It is illegal in Texas to use marijuana.
Yes, ma'am.
if I grant your application for deferred adjudication, and if you use marijuana while you're on probation, guess what? A motion to revoke is going to be filed and you're looking at life in prison.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
it's up to you to decide whether potentially going to prison for life is worth that. You understand?
Yes.
So are you employed?
I will be as soon as I get out. That's no problem.
Have you been employed before?
Yes, ma'am.
Doing what?
What really stands out is how he treats probation like it's nothing serious. Probation is basically the court giving you one last shot to prove you can stay out of trouble, and he blows it almost immediately. Judges pay attention to that because it tells them behavior wasn't a one-time mistake. It starts looking like a pattern. Once the court sees it that way, the focus shifts from rehabilitation to how long they should lock you up. Honestly, every bad decision he makes just hands a prosecutor more ammunition against him.
House and construction, manual labor, irrigation, road work, Amazon warehouse.
All right. And how old are you?
I just turned 26 in July.
All right. And how far did you go in school?
I have my high school diploma and I have my associates in St. Philip's College.
And what?
Art.
And what are you planning on doing with this art degree?
Really want to own my own business, but it's steps to that. I still have to pick up the knowledge, but more is to
So
come.
how does, and you know, I think art is great. One of my brothers was great in art and still is great in art. But how does you going to get your art degree translate into, I want to own my own business? Is your art going to be connected to that?
Yes, ma'am. Starting cartoons, drawing magazines, trying to get it in the newspaper.
So what
Things like
steps
that.
are you going to take to do that?
Owning my own name, business logo, business account.
Okay.
Still learning and picking up the knowledge to do so.
All right. And how often were you using marijuana?
I say twice a week.
Nobody uses marijuana twice a week.
I get drug tested at jobs, so
You figured out when you could get a negative test?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. And have you used anything other than marijuana?
Alcohol, but that's occasionally birthdays, holidays, Thanksgiving.
While you're on
Christmas.
probation, you're not allowed to drink alcohol. You understand?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right. This is what the court will do. Court will sentence you to 10 years, deferred adjudication. I'm going to request parenting classes. And you're very lucky that the grandmother didn't want you to go to prison. So we're going to do parenting classes, 200 hours of community service restitution. If he enrolls or obtains a business certificate so you can better yourself and completes the parenting classes, the community service hours will be deemed satisfied. So to satisfy those 200 hours of community service restitution, you can go out and do community service hours, or either you can better yourself. And bettering yourself would mean you take parenting classes and you get a certificate or something that shows me you're taking steps to accomplish in life what you want to accomplish.
Yes, ma'am.
When's the last time you used marijuana?
5 months ago.
All right, so he should be clean. So when he's released, we're going to do a UA. If for some reason when he's released, it's positive for marijuana, start testing for levels.
And Judge, to let you know, he's set on the DWI tomorrow. I'm not his lawyer on that, but it's a JSAT, so he won't get out today. It'll have to wait till tomorrow.
Okay. Mr. Yarborough, is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. We can go off the record from here on out. Everything you do, there are 2 questions you should ask yourself. 1, is the decision I'm about to make and what I'm about to do, could it potentially result in me going to prison for life? If the answer is yes, don't do it. If the answer is, it could, maybe it couldn't, don't do it. That whole thing that you're doing with your job where you know when they're testing you, so you're saying, well, I use marijuana on this day, not on this day, so I can get a negative test. Don't do that here, because it may not catch you the first time, but ultimately it's going to catch you. And then you know what's going to end up happening? Warrant's going to be issued for your arrest. You're either going to make bond or you're not. If you don't make bond, you're going to be at the jail. You're going to be brought over in orange. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And just as a side note, how tall are you?
I'm 6'6".
Okay. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. All right.
Thank
Do
you.
better. Are you Mr. Yarborough?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney, and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
The fact that he's already back in court says a lot. This doesn't look like bad luck anymore. It looks like someone constantly pushing limits to see what they can get away with. Between the burglary charges and multiple DWI cases, there's already a clear pattern forming. But somehow he still believes acting polished in court will make everyone ignore it. Judges don't think that way. To them, repeated offenses are proof the cycle will continue unless something finally stops it. And at this point, the whole "I've changed" speech feels more rehearsed than real.
Are you the same Didini Yarborough who's placed on deferred adjudication in 2022 CR 8978 for the offense of burglary of a habitation with intent to commit a felony on September 28, 2023 for a period of 10 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State.
Violated condition number 1 on or about the 3rd day of November 2023 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Didini Shaquan Yarborough, committed the offense of driving while intoxicated in violation of condition number 1.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
Your Honor, state waives all of the violations.
Any objection?
Objection, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 1, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 1?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 1 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, it's the moral recognition therapy, bi-weekly reporting, and 90 days of random meetings.
That's the agreement, Your Honor.
All right, what is happening with the DWI?
Judge, the first appearance is on the 14th of May. I have incomplete discovery in that case. I'm appointed to that case.
Okay. All right, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand. State your name for the record.
Didini Yarborough.
All right, what have you done since you've been on probation?
My business certificate, I'm now a student for SEC, San Antonio College. I have my student ID. I took my TSA, and all I have to do is sign up for classes.
Okay. All right, that's good.
Yes, ma'am.
So here's the thing. There are other things that you need to start working on too, like your parenting classes.
Yes, ma'am.
Like, I'm not, you've already pled true to the DWI, so that means that you were drinking. You're not allowed to drink on probation. I think I tell everybody that, or at least a majority of the people, when they're before me on a specific case. Doesn't matter if you're drinking in your house. Doesn't matter if you're drinking in your backyard. Everybody who's on probation, you're not allowed to drink alcohol.
Yes, ma'am.
So do you realize by drinking alcohol, you're basically saying, oh, I'm okay with doing life in prison. I'll take this drink of alcohol. Do you understand? You're going to have to grow up and realize can't drink alcohol, can't smoke marijuana, can't do any of this on probation. That's what being on probation is. You don't have the same rights and privileges that other people have. You understand?
Ma'am, I do.
You have a contract with this court. I know you have an agreement with the state. Probation has given me their recommendation, but it's really up to me. So even though they've agreed that you be continued, I could revoke you and send you to prison right now for life. You understand? Do not come back here for this nonsense. We're always here in the 187 to help people if they need help with drug or alcohol or whatever, or you have some issues.
How fast he burned through the judge's warning, as if life in prison was just background noise. Probation is meant to test whether you can follow the simplest rules, and he failed that test almost immediately. By letting him slide with more probation, the court isn't teaching accountability, it's teaching him that consequences are negotiable. And once a defendant starts believing that, the cycle of arrests basically writes itself.
Pick up the phone, call probation, and we'll see what we can do. But you are not allowed to drink. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
From here on out, everything that you do, you need to ask yourself, could this potentially result in me going to prison for life? If the answer is yes, don't do it. If the answer is maybe, don't do it. If it's like, I don't know, pick up the phone, call probation. You understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. Court is finding violation of condition number 1 true. Are you employed?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Is there any other issue with him other than this alcohol? don't report, you could go to prison. You understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
So this is what the court is going to do. The court is finding number one true. The court will deny the motion. Court is going to alter and amend conditions to include the following. There's to be 90 sober meetings in 90 days. There's you to report to probation. One time, probation is one time every 2 weeks, too much for you all. All right, you're going to report to probation one time every 2 weeks for 60 days. If you miss reporting, they're going to file a motion to revoke. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, the MRT, that's to help you make better decisions. Do you need help on how to make better decisions?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. If you do, let me know. We'll give you something.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So, and the MRT. Probation, is there anything else? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful? All right. That's the court's ruling. We can go off the record, make better decisions. Otherwise, you may find yourself at the prison.
Yes, ma'am.
And when you go to prison, people will ask you, what are you here for? And you're going to say, well, I drank alcohol or I didn't report to probation. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
What really stands out in this case is the difference between courtroom threats and actual consequences. Judges talk tough about life sentences to scare people straight, but when those punishments never fully happen, the warnings start losing meaning. Defendants notice that quickly. If sounding respectful and apologetic is enough to avoid real punishment, then what reason is there to truly change? And that doesn't just affect this one defendant. It sends a message to everyone watching the system play out. So what do you think? Does showing mercy help people improve, or does it just encourage them to take bigger risks next time?